Get Cloud Curious. I'm Sean Boland, an AWS Authorized Champion Instructor with New Horizons. With an AWS tip for you today, we're going to use virtual private cloud with public and private subnets. Let's get started. VPC is the networking construct in AWS. It basically is going to allow us to go out and build virtual networks in our AWS account. These are going to be necessary because I can't start creating things like EC2 instances, servers, until I have virtual networks to put them in. So the Virtual Private Cloud Service, or VPC, lets me build my networking infrastructure. When I create my networking infrastructure, I'm going to be creating the VPC, and then I'm going to be creating subnets. Think of a subnet as a virtual network inside of my AWS environment. You'll notice I've created a VPC. I've created two subnets. One of them says public, one of them says private subnet. More about that in a moment. And I've also created something called an internet gateway. The internet gateway is the device that's going to be making the connection from my VPC out to the public internet. Now, a little bit about those public and private subnets. This is really important, the point of our talk today. A public subnet is one that has direct inbound and outbound internet connectivity. So the machines in that public subnet can get out to the internet, and traffic can get from the internet into those machines. That happens because of a routing table entry for that subnet. A route to 0000/0 pointing to the internet gateway, that's a route to everything else, is how that traffic's going to get in and out. Notice on the private subnet, there is no route to 0000/0. In other words, machines on the private subnet wouldn't know how to get to the public internet. They don't have a route or a path to the internet gateway. Public subnets, public internet connectivity. Private subnets, no public internet connectivity. That is a great advantage because then when I put things like my file servers, my database servers, things that don't need that direct public internet exposure, by putting them on a private subnet, I'm starting to help protect them. And of course, security is job zero for everything that we do. Now, there is a use case occasionally for machines on a private subnet to get out, to be able to go to the internet. Maybe they need to run updates or something like that from an internet source. Now, you still don't want traffic to come directly from the internet into those machines. So no unsolicited inbound traffic, but they need to get out. In that case, AWS does provide that functionality. It's called a NAT gateway, or you can deploy your own NAT instance. That's basically a networking device that will facilitate or provide that outbound internet connectivity for those machines on a private subnet. So you can deploy one of those if you need to, but if you don't need to, you don't have to deploy one. When we take a look at this idea of virtual networks in the cloud, the concepts of public and private subnets are fundamental. When you have machines like public web servers that need that inbound and outbound internet exposure, public subnets are the answer. When we don't want our machines with that internet exposure, inbound, outbound, etc., private subnets are the answer. Understanding that is one of the first keys or building blocks to creating your secure networks in the cloud. That's it for today's tip. Let's continue to get cloud curious. Reach out to your New Horizons account executive today or visit newhorizons.com to learn more about our AWS authorized classes.